In 2021, the Wall Street Journal obtained and published internal research Meta had conducted over several years. The leak included presentations that had been seen by the company's executives, and the findings mentioned to CEO Mark Zuckerberg in 2020. The slides presented findings from 3 qualitative studies. The first study recruited 15 monthly Instagram users with low body image and self-esteem, between the ages of 13 and 21. These users all lived in San Ramon, California and were interviewed for 2 hours. The second study recruited 10 monthly Instagram users for a 5-day diary study, where they recorded their online habits. The third study selected 7 users from the previous diary study for a 30-minute interview. None of the leaked studies were designed to be a randomized controlled trial or case control, meaning they were incapable of drawing either strong or weak causal inferences. The WSJ reported that Instagram can worsen poor body image of young people, with teenage girls particularly vulnerable. Instagram has had negative effects on the body image of 1 in 3 teenagers. Instagram makes 20% of the teens feel worse about themselves, although it also makes 40% feel better about themselves. 2/3 of teen girls and 40% of teen boys experience negative social comparison. According to the leaked research, Instagram has higher impact on appearance comparison than TikTok or Snapchat. 13% of British and 6% of American teenager users with suicidal thoughts could trace them to Instagram use. Instagram responded to the WSJ story, saying it focused on a limited set of findings and casts them in a negative light. Meta defended not making its internal research public, saying it was kept confidential to promote frank and open dialogue and brainstorming internally. In the wake of the backlash, Meta announced that it had paused development of Instagram Kids, a product aimed at children. The company stated it was looking into concerns raised by the regulators and parents. Kadarahimi and Fathi found evidence that Instagram users displayed higher levels of depressive and anxious symptoms compared to non-users. However, Frisson and Egermont 2017 found that, among both boys and girls, browsing could predict the presence of depressive symptoms, liking and posting seemed to have no effect. In addition, their study showed that the presence of depressive symptoms in a given user could positively predict that they would make posts. The study showed that the viewing of celebrity and peer pictures could make the moods of women more negative. In a 2021 study, Mun and Kim pointed out that Instagram users with a strong need for approval were more likely to falsely present themselves on their Instagram accounts, which in turn increased the likelihood of depression. However, depression was mitigated by the user's perception of their own popularity. Lube and Trub 2015 showed that following more strangers increases social comparisons and depressive symptoms. Multiple studies have found that increasing time spent on Instagram increases social anxiety and anxiety related to personal traits, physical appearance, and high-stress body areas in particular. Sherlock and Wagstaff 2019 showed that both the number of followers and follows can slightly increase anxiety over personal traits. Additionally, Majas and Verrier 2020 observed a connection between online engagement with mothering-based influencers known as Instamums and anxiety. However, Maxon et al. 2019 suggested beneficial effects of Instagram use on anxiety symptoms. Instagram users report higher body surveillance, the habitual monitoring of one's body shape and size, appearance-related pressure, eating disorder-related pathology and lower body satisfaction than non-users. Multiple studies have also shown that users who take more selfies before making a post, and those who strategically present themselves by participating in such activities as editing or manipulating selfies, report higher levels of body surveillance and body dissatisfaction, and lower body esteem overall. Tigerman et al. Showed that facial satisfaction can decrease when one spends greater time editing selfies for Instagram. Comments related to appearance on Instagram can lead to higher dissatisfaction with one's body. Maxon et al. 2019 found that Instagram users were less lonely than non-users and that Instagram membership predicts lower self-reported loneliness. A 2021 study by Butner and Ruddert also showed that not being tagged in an Instagram photo triggers the feeling of social exclusion and ostracism, especially for those with higher needs to belong. However, Brailovskaya and Margraf 2018 found a significant positive relationship between Instagram membership and extroversion, life satisfaction, and social support. Their study showed only a marginally significant negative association between Instagram membership and self-conscientiousness. Fioravanti et al. 2020 showed that women who had to take a break from Instagram for 7 days reported higher life satisfaction compared to women who continued their habitual pattern of Instagram use. The effects seemed to be specific for women, where no significant differences were observed for men. The relationship between Instagram use and the fear of missing out, or FOMO, has been confirmed in multiple studies. Research shows that Instagram browsing predicts social comparison, which generates FOMO, which can ultimately lead to depression. There is a small positive correlation between the intensity of one's Instagram usage and alcohol consumption, with binge drinkers reporting greater intensity of Instagram use than non-binge drinkers. Boyle et al. 2016 found a small to moderate positive relationship between alcohol consumption, enhanced drinking motives, and drinking behavior during college and Instagram usage. A comparison of Instagram users with non-users showed that boys with an Instagram account differ from boys without an account in terms of over-evaluation of their shape and weight, skipping meals, and levels of reported disordered eating cognitions. Girls with an Instagram account only differed from girls without an account in terms of skipping meals. They also had a stricter exercise schedule, a pattern not found in boys. This suggests a possible negative effect of Instagram usage on body satisfaction and disordered eating for both boys and girls. Several studies identified a small positive relationship between time spent on Instagram and both internalization of beauty or muscular ideals and self-objectification. Both Appel et al. 2016 and Feltman et al. 2017 found a positive link between the intensity of Instagram use and both body surveillance and dietary behaviors or disordered eating. Picardo et al. 2020 examined the relationship between self-harm posts and actual self-harm behaviors offline and found such content had negative emotional effects on some users. The study also reported preliminary evidence of the online posts affecting offline behavior, but stopped short of claiming causality. At the same time, some benefits for those who engage with self-harm content online have been suggested. Instagram has published resources to help users in need of support. Sharenting is when parents post content online, including images, about their children. Instagram is one of the most popular social media channels for sharenting. The hashtag #LetThemBelittle contains over 10 million images related to children on Instagram. Bear 2020 analyzed 300 randomly selected, publicly available images under the hashtag and found that the corresponding images tended to contain children's personal information, including name, age, and location. Sans Blas et al. 2019 showed that users who feel that they spend too much time on Instagram report higher levels of addiction to Instagram, which in turn was related to higher self-reported levels of stress induced by the app. In a study focusing on the relationship between various psychological needs and addiction to Instagram by students, Foroe et al. 2021 found that the desire for recognition and entertainment were predictors of students' addiction to Instagram. In addition, the study proved that addiction to Instagram negatively affected academic performance. Additionally, Gazjin and Misai 2020 found that frequent Instagram usage correlated with smartphone addiction. After being released in October 2010, Instagram had 1 million registered users in December 2010. In June 2011, it announced that it had 5 million users, which increased to 10 million in September. This growth continued to 30 million users in April 2012, 80 million in July 2012, 100 million in February 2013, 130 million in June 2013, 150 million in September 2013, 300 million in December 2014, 400 million in September 2015, 500 million in June 2016, 600 million in December 2016, 700 million in April 2017 and 800 million in September 2017. In June 2011, Instagram passed 100 million photos uploaded to the service. This grew to 150 million in August 2011, and by June 2023, there were over 50 billion photos uploaded to the service. In October 2016, Instagram Stories reached 100 million active users, 2 months after launch. This increased to 150 million in January 2017, 200 million in April, surpassing Snapchat's user growth, and 250 million active users in June 2017. In April 2017, Instagram Direct had 375 million monthly users. Countries with most users, April 2023. 1. India with 326.6 million users. 2. United States with 168.6 million users. 3. Brazil with 132.6 million users. 4. Indonesia with 106.0 million users. 5. Turkey with 56.4 million users. 6. Japan with 54.7 million users. 7. Mexico with 43.8 million users. 8. Germany with 33.8 million users. 9. United Kingdom with 33.5 million users. 10. Italy with 30.3 million users. As of 2014, Instagram's users are divided equally, with 50% iPhone owners and 50% Android owners. While Instagram has a neutral gender bias format, 68% of Instagram users are female and 32% are male. Instagram's geographical use is shown to favor urban areas, as 17% of US adults who live in urban areas use Instagram, while only 11% of adults in suburban and rural areas do so. While Instagram may appear to be one of the most widely used sites for photo sharing, only 7% of daily photo uploads, among the top 4 photo sharing platforms, come from Instagram. Instagram has been proven to attract the younger generation, with 90% of its 150 million users under the age of 35. From June 2012 to June 2013, Instagram approximately doubled their number of users. With regards to income, 15% of US internet users who make less than $30,000 per year use Instagram, while 14% of those making $30,000 to $50,000 and 12% of users who make more than $50,000 per year do s. With respect to the education demographic, respondents with some college education proved to be the most active on Instagram, with 23%. Following behind, college graduates consist of 18% and users with a high school diploma or less make up 15%. Among these Instagram users, 24% say they use the app several times a day. Ongoing research continues to explore how media content on the platform affects user engagement. Past research has found that media which show people's faces receive more likes and comments, and that using filters that increase warmth, exposure, and contrast also boosts engagement. Users are more likely to engage with images that depict fewer individuals compared to groups, and they are also more likely to engage with content that has not been watermarked, as they view this content as less original and reliable compared to user-generated content. Recently, Instagram has come up with an option for users to apply for a verified account badge. However, this does not guarantee every user who applies will get the verified blue tick. The motives for using Instagram among young people are mainly to look at posts, particularly for the sake of social interactions and recreation. In contrast, the level of agreement expressed in creating Instagram posts was lower, which demonstrates that Instagram's emphasis on visual communication is widely accepted by young people in social communication. In June 2020, because of the Black Lives Matter movement, Instagram became more widely used as a social justice platform. Instagram-based activism, as well as other social media, has been criticized and dismissed for being performative, reductionist, and overly focused on aesthetics. Instagram was the runner-up for Best Mobile App at the 2010 TechCrunch Crunchies in January 2011. In May 2011, Fast Company listed CEO Kevin Systrom at number 66 in the 100 most creative people in business in 2011. In June 2011, Inc. concluded co-founders Systrom and Krieger in its 2011 30 Under 30 list. Instagram won Best Locally Made App in the SF Weekly Web Awards in September 2011. 7x7 magazine's September 2011 issue featured Systrom and Krieger on the cover of their The Hot 20 2011 issue. In December 2011, Apple Incorporated named Instagram the App of the Year for 2011. In 2015, Instagram was named number 1 by Mashable on its list of the 100 best iPhone apps of all time, noting Instagram as one of the most influential social networks in the world. Instagram was listed among Time's 50 best Android applications for 2013 list. In May 2017, a survey conducted by the United Kingdom's Royal Society for Public Health, featuring 1,479 people aged 14 to 24 and asking them to rate social media platforms depending on anxiety, depression, loneliness, bullying and body image, concluded that Instagram was the worst for young mental health. Some have suggested it may contribute to digital dependence, whilst this same survey noticed its positive effects, including self-expression, self-identity, and community building. In response to the survey, Instagram said that keeping Instagram a safe and supportive place for young people was a top priority. The company filters out the reviews and accounts. If some of the accounts violate Instagram's community guidelines, it will take action, which could include banning them. In 2017, researchers from Harvard University and University of Vermont demonstrated a machine learning tool that successfully outperformed general practitioners' diagnostic success rate for depression. The tool used color analysis, metadata components, and face detection of users' feeds. In 2019, Instagram began to test the hiding of like counts for posts made by its users, with the feature later made available to everyone. In 2021, Instagram announced that like counts would return to be publicly viewable by default. Users can choose to switch them off for their whole feed or on a per-post basis. Correlations have been made between Instagram content and dissatisfaction with one's body, as a result of people comparing themselves to other users. In a recent survey, half of the applicants admitted to photo editing behavior, which has been linked with concerns over body image. In October 2021, CNN published an article and interviews on two young women, Ashley Thomas and Anastasia Vilasova, saying Instagram endangered their lives due to it having toxic effects on their diets. In October 2023, 42 U.S. states filed a lawsuit against Instagram and parent company Meta, accusing them of contributing to a youth mental health crisis due to the addictive nature of the platforms. The lawsuit claimed that Meta and its Instagram unit repeatedly misled the public about the dangers of its platforms and knowingly induced young children and teenagers into addictive and compulsive social media use. Meta representatives replied that they were disappointed with the lawsuit and were hoping instead to continue working with other companies from the industry to create new and better standards for applications teens use. In response to abusive and negative comments on users' photos, Instagram has made efforts to give users more control over their posts and accompanying comments field. In July 2016, it announced that users would be able to turn off comments for their posts, as well as control the language used in comments by inputting words they consider offensive, which will ban applicable comments from showing up. After the July 2016 announcement, the ability to ban specific words began rolling out early August to celebrities, followed by regular users in September. In December, the company began rolling out the abilities for users to turn off the comments and, for private accounts, remove followers. In June 2017, Instagram announced that it would automatically attempt to filter offensive, harassing, and spammy comments by default. The system is built using a Facebook-developed deep learning algorithm known as Deep Text, first implemented on the social network to detect spam comments, which utilizes natural language processing techniques, and can also filter by user-specified keywords. In September 2017, the company announced that public users would be able to limit who can comment on their content, such as only their followers or people they follow. At the same time, it updated its automated comment filter to support additional languages. In July 2019, the service announced that it would introduce a system to proactively detect problematic comments and encourage the user to reconsider their comment, as well as allowing users the ability to restrict others' abilities to communicate with them, citing that younger users felt the existing block system was too much of an escalation. An April 2022 study by the Center for Countering Digital Hate found that Instagram failed to act on 90% of abusive direct messages, DMS, sent to 5 high-profile women, despite the DMS being reported to moderators. The participants of the study included actress Amber Heard, journalist Bryony Gordon, television presenter Rachel Riley, activist Jamie Klingler and magazine founder Sharon Dhaliwal. Instagram disputed many of the study's conclusions. On August 9, 2012, English musician Ellie Goulding released a new music video for her song Anything Could Happen. The video only contained fan-submitted Instagram photographs that used various filters to represent words or lyrics from the song, and over 1,200 different photographs were submitted. In August 2017, reports surfaced that a bug in Instagram's developer tools had allowed one or more individuals to gain access to the contact information, specifically email addresses and phone numbers, of several high-profile verified accounts, including its most followed user, Selena Gomez. The company said in a statement that it had fixed the bug swiftly and was running an investigation. However, the following month, more details emerged, with a group of hackers selling contact information online, with the affected number of accounts in the millions rather than the previously assumed limitation on verified accounts. Hours after the hack, a searchable database was posted online, charging $10 per search. The Daily Beast was provided with a sample of the affected accounts and could confirm that, while many of the email addresses could be found with a Google search in public sources, some did not return relevant Google search results and thus were from private sources. The Verge wrote that cybersecurity firm Repnite had found contact information for multiple actors, musicians, and athletes, and singer Selena Gomez's account was used by the hackers to post naked photos of her ex-boyfriend Justin Bieber. The company admitted that we cannot determine which specific accounts may have been impacted, but believed that it was a low percentage of Instagram accounts, though TechCrunch stated in its report that 6 million accounts were affected by the hack, and that Instagram services more than 700 million accounts. 6 million is not a small number. In 2019, Apple pulled an app which let users stalk people on Instagram by scraping accounts and collecting data. Iran has DPI blocking for Instagram. In September 2024, Meta paid out a $101 million fine for storing up to 600 million passwords of Instagram and Facebook users in plain text. The practice was initially discovered in 2019, though reports indicate passwords were stored in plain text since 2012. On December 17, 2012, Instagram announced a change to its terms of service policy, adding the following sentence. To help us deliver interesting paid or sponsored content or promotions, you agree that a business or other entity may pay us to display your username, likeness, photos, along with any associated metadata, and / or actions you take, in connection with paid or sponsored content or promotions, without any compensation to you. There was no option for users to opt out of the changed terms of service without deleting their accounts before the new policy went into effect on January 16, 2013. The move garnered severe criticism from users, prompting Instagram CEO Kevin Systrom to write a blog post one day later, announcing that they would remove the offending language from the policy. citing misinterpretations about its intention to communicate that we'd like to experiment with innovative advertising that feels appropriate on Instagram. Systrom also stated that it was our mistake that this language is confusing and that it is not our intention to sell your photos. Furthermore, he wrote that they would work on updated language in the terms to make sure this is clear. The policy change and its backlash caused competing photo services to use the opportunity to try to lure users away by promoting their privacy-friendly services, and some services experienced substantial gains in momentum and user growth following the news. On December 20, Instagram announced that the advertising section of the policy would be reverted to its original October 2010 version. The Verge wrote about that policy as well, however, noting that the original policy gives the company right to place such advertising and promotions on the Instagram services or on, about, or in conjunction with your content, meaning that Instagram has always had the right to use your photos in ads, almost any way it wants. We could have had the exact same freakout last week, or a year ago, or the day Instagram launched. The policy update also introduced an arbitration clause, which remained even after the language pertaining to advertising and user content had been modified. Columbia Law School professor Tim Wu has given public talks explaining that Facebook's 2012 purchase of Instagram was a felony. On February 26, 2019, the New York Post released an article stating that the FTC had discovered a memo authored by a senior Facebook official, revealing that the purpose behind the acquisition of Instagram was to remove a potential rival. Wu explains this is a violation of U.S. antitrust law, see monopoly. Wu stated that this document was an email directly from Mark Zuckerberg, whereas the Post article had stated that their source had declined to say whether the high-ranking executive was the CEO. In 2016, Olivia Solon, a reporter for The Guardian, posted a screenshot to her Instagram profile of an email she had received containing threats of rape and murder towards her. The photo post had received 3 likes and countless comments, and in September 2017, the company's algorithms turned the photo into an advertisement visible to Solon's sister. An Instagram spokesperson apologized and told The Guardian that "We are sorry this happened, it's not the experience we want someone to have." This notification post was surfaced as part of an effort to encourage engagement on Instagram. Posts are generally received by a small percentage of a person's Facebook friends. As noted by the technology media, the incident occurred at the same time parent company Facebook was under scrutiny for its algorithms and advertising campaigns being used for offensive and negative purposes. In May 2021, The Washington Post published a report detailing a black market of unlicensed employment agents luring migrant workers from Africa and Asia into indentured servitude as maids in Persian Gulf countries and using Instagram posts containing their personal information, including in some cases, passport numbers, to market them. Instagram deleted 200 accounts that had been reported by the Post, and a spokesperson stated that Instagram took this activity extremely seriously, disabled 200 accounts found by the Post to be engaging in these activities, and was continuing to work on systems to automatically detect and disable accounts engaging in human exploitation. In July 2022, Instagram announced a set of updates which immediately received widespread backlash from its user base. The changes included a feed more focused on Instagram's content algorithms, full-screen photo and video posts, and changing the format of all of its videos to Reels. The primary criticisms for these updates was that Instagram was more like TikTok than photo sharing. The backlash originated from an Instagram post and Change.org petition created by photographer Toddy Bruning, under the username @Illumitati, on July 23, 2022, featuring the statement "Make Instagram Instagram again. Stop trying to be TikTok, I just want to see cute photos of my friends. Sincerely, everyone." The post and petition gained mainstream attention after influencers Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian reposted the Instagram post. Subsequently, the original post gained over 2 million likes on Instagram and over 275,000 signatures on Change.org. Instagram walked back the update on July 28, with Meta saying we recognize that changes to the app can be an adjustment, and while we believe that Instagram needs to evolve as the world changes, we want to take the time to make sure we get this right. Despite repeated attempts by Meta to shape Instagram to appear and operate more like TikTok, user engagement continued to lag far behind its rival as of 2022. Instagram has been used for propaganda purposes by a variety of different countries for different reasons. The reasons can be for domestic promotion of certain goals or foreign policy objectives. During the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine, Instagram was used for propaganda purposes. Instagram has been the subject of criticism due to users publishing images of drugs they are selling on the platform. In 2013, the BBC discovered that users, mostly located in the United States, were posting images of drugs they were selling, attaching specific hashtags, and then completing transactions via instant messaging applications such as WhatsApp. Corresponding hashtags have been blocked as part of the company's response, and a spokesperson engaged with the BBC explained. Instagram has a clear set of rules about what is and isn't allowed on the site. We encourage people who come across illegal or inappropriate content to report it to us using the built-in reporting tools next to every photo, video, or comment, so we can take action. People can't buy things on Instagram, we are simply a place where people share photos and videos. However, new incidents of illegal drug trade have occurred in the aftermath of the 2013 revelation, with Facebook Incorporated, Instagram's parent company, asking users who come across such content to report the material, at which time a dedicated team reviews the information. In 2019, Facebook announced that influencers are no longer able to post any vape, tobacco products, and weapons promotions on Facebook and Instagram. In October 2013, Instagram deleted the account of Canadian photographer Petra Collins after she posted a photo of herself in which a very small area of pubic hair was visible above the top of her bikini bottom. Collins claimed that the account deletion was unfounded because it broke none of Instagram's terms and conditions. Audra Schroeder of The Daily Dot further wrote that Instagram's terms of use state users can't post pornographic or sexually suggestive photos. You can indeed find more sexually suggestive photos on the site than Collins, where women show the side of femininity the world is used to seeing and accepting. Nick Drawi of The Daily Beast wrote a report the same month focusing on hashtags that users are unable to search for, including hashtag sex, hashtag bubblebutt, and hashtag ballsack, despite allowing hashtag fake tits, hashtag guns for sale, and hashtag sexy times, calling the discrepancy nonsensical and inconsistent. Similar incidents occurred in January 2015, when Instagram deleted Australian fashion agency Sticks and Stones Agency's account because of a photograph including pubic hair sticking out of bikini bottoms, and March 2015, when artist and poet Rupi Kaur's photos of menstrual blood on clothing were removed, prompting a rallying post on her Facebook and Tumblr accounts with the text "We will not be censored," gaining over 11,000 shares. The incidents have led to a hashtag #FreeNipple campaign, aimed at challenging Instagram's removal of photos displaying women's nipples. Although Instagram has not made many comments on the campaign, an October 2015 explanation from CEO Kevin Systrom highlighted Apple's content guidelines for apps published through its App Store, including Instagram, in which apps must designate the appropriate age ranking for users, with the app's current rating being 12+ years of age. However, this statement has also been called into question due to other apps with more explicit content allowed on the store, the lack of consequences for men exposing their bodies on Instagram, and for inconsistent treatment of what constitutes inappropriate exposure of the female body. The Iranian government offered moderators bribes up to $9,000 to delete specific accounts, with Mahsa Alinejad being targeted in particular. Censorship has occurred in several countries. Instagram has been blocked by China following the 2014 Hong Kong protests, as many confrontations with police and incidents occurring during the protests were recorded and photographed. Hong Kong and Macau were not affected as they are part of special administrative regions of China. The Cuban government blocked access to several social media platforms, including Instagram, to curb the spread of information during the 2021 Cuban protests. Instagram was one of the last freely available global social media sites in Iran. According to the IFJ, Instagram is popular among Iranians because it is seen as an outlet for freedom and a window to the world. Still, Iran has sentenced citizens to prison for posts made on their Instagram accounts. The Iranian government blocked Instagram periodically during anti-government protests in 2019-20. In July 2021, Instagram temporarily censored videos with the phrase "Death to Khomeini." As of September 2022, it was blocked permanently, along with WhatsApp, with an exception made for tourists and corporations who request its use. A few days after a fire incident that happened in the Koryo Hotel in North Korea on June 11, 2015, authorities blocked Instagram to prevent photos of the incident from being spread. On March 11, 2022, Russia announced it would ban Instagram due to alleged calls for violence against Russian troops on the platform during the ongoing 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. On March 14, the ban took effect, with almost 80 million users losing access to Instagram. On August 2, 2024, Instagram was banned by Information and Communication Technologies Authority, Turkey, after the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. The ban lasted for 9 days and was lifted on August 10, 2024, with Instagram accepting the government's demands and agreeing to work with authorities. In the US, there is relatively little government regulation of social media content, with most content removal taking place on a voluntary basis by the companies. One exception was in January 2020, when Instagram and its parent company, Facebook Incorporated, removed posts that voice support for slain Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani to comply with U.S. sanctions. Following the election of Donald Trump in 2025, various sources noted possible censorship related to the Democratic Party on Instagram and other meta platforms. Like many social media sites, Instagram employs a combination of automated algorithms, user reports, and human review to identify and remove illegal content such as child abuse and encouragement of terrorism. The system also aims to identify cyberbullying, hate speech and misinformation. Although the U.S. government has little direct power to force social media sites to remove specific content, Instagram has on occasion done so voluntarily, especially to avoid being seen as aiding the spread of fake news. On October 30, 2020, Instagram temporarily removed the recent tab on hashtag pages to prevent the spread of misinformation regarding the 2020 United States presidential election. On January 7, 2021, following the attack on the U.S. Capitol by supporters of then-President Donald Trump, Trump was banned from Instagram indefinitely. Zuckerberg stated, "We believe the risks of allowing the president to continue to use our service during this period are simply too great." Instagram has been criticized in India for not taking steps to counter homophobic and transphobic contents. According to the LGBT activist Indrajit Gaurpade, hateful homophobic content in English is removed but the same in Indian languages is allowed to remain on the platform. Despite flagging the hateful and homophobic content to Instagram, no action has been taken. In 2023, a 16-year-old queer artist allegedly died by suicide after receiving thousands of hate comments on Instagram. Top 10 most followed personal Instagram accounts. Number 1, Cristiano Ronaldo, @Cristiano, with 640 million followers, a footballer from Portugal. Number 2, Lionel Messi, @Leo Messi, with 504 million followers, a footballer from Argentina. Number 3, Selena Gomez, @Selena Gomez, with 424 million followers, a singer and actress from United States. Number 4, Kylie Jenner, @Kylie Jenner, with 396 million followers, a reality TV star and businesswoman from United States. Number 5, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, @The Rock, with 395 million followers, an actor, a producer, and a wrestler from United States. Number 6, Ariana Grande, @Ariana Grande, with 376 million followers, a singer and actress from United States. Number 7 Kim Kardashian West, at Kim Kardashian, with 360 million from a reality TV star and businesswoman from United States. Number 8 Beyonce, at Beyonce, with 316 million followers, a singer, an actress, and businesswoman from United States. Number 9 Khloe Kardashian, at Khloe Kardashian, with 306 million followers, a reality TV star and businesswoman from United States. Number 10 Justin Bieber, at Justin Bieber, with 294 million followers, a singer from Canada. The most liked photo on Instagram is a carousel of photos from footballer Lionel Messi celebrating winning the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The post has over 75 million likes. In 2022, Instagram was the second most downloaded mobile app of the year. In popular culture, Social Animals, documentary film. A 2018 documentary film about 3 teenagers growing up on Instagram. Instagram model, a term for models who gain their success as a result of the large number of followers they have on Instagram. Instapoetry is a style of poetry which formed by sharing images of short poems by poets on Instagram. Instagram Pier, a cargo working area in Hong Kong that gained its nickname due to its popularity on Instagram. Instagram is written in Python. Instagram artificial intelligence describes content for visually impaired people who use screen readers. Thank you for watching this video.